Namaste. Welcome to your reading Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Rising signs. So this is your free reading for July 2019. Just a couple things before I get going. If there's a static noise in your video, I apologize for it. It's very strange. I can't figure out what's causing it or how to fix it, and it seems to come and go. So hopefully someday it'll just permanently be fixed, but for the time being, what I have discovered is that oftentimes if you just adjust the volume, it's less bothersome or it goes away. So if you're sticking around, what I'm doing this month for you is I'm going to do some theme cards, followed by an approximate week by week, looking at 4 weeks for July. For the theme cards, I'm going to use the Secret Language of Color card deck, the Zodiac Oracle, and the Amy Brown Fairy Wisdom deck. For the week by week, we're going to use the Earth Magic Oracle cards, the Mermaid Oracle, and the Animal Wisdom Tarot. And the way I've been doing these readings, and we'll do for yours as well, is I'm going to take a initial look at the theme cards, just kind of briefly read through those, what I see, and then I'm going to get into the week by week. And as I do the week by week, I'll do the week by week, and then I'll go back through the week by week and read a little bit out of the booklet for each of the animal wisdom cards. Then I'll go back into the theme cards, and I'll read out of the booklet for the fairy card in its entirety, and then I'll kind of tie together the theme and the week by week. So we're looking, alright, for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Rising signs. My card flew out before I could finish saying that. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Rising signs for July 2019. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant Rising for July 2019. Aquarius, if you are interested in getting a personal reading, or you have a topic, a specific topic or situation you'd like a reading on, please let me know, because I have personal readings available. I've narrowed them down to about 4 or 5 on the menu, but I'm also doing these things called pick-a-pile readings for specific topics and situations, so I can help guide you towards that if you're interested. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Rising signs, July 2019. Let's see what you've got going on. So your theme cards, we have Pedestal from the Fairy deck, looks like a little bit of bondage there, mental or emotional, maybe physical too. You might be feeling trapped in a physical situation like a job or a relationship, or some sort of pattern within those. And then we have your energy, Aquarius, the 11th house showing up reversed, and Aries, the 1st house showing up reversed. When the zodiac cards show up reversed like this, to me it indicates a blockage or an imbalance in those areas. And so I feel like this is about you and your independence and your individuality and your authenticity, with Aries and Aquarius coming together like that, and you being an Aquarius, because Aries is the sign of our identity. Its key phrase is I am, and it represents our independence and our who we are, as well as like initiation, new beginnings, leadership, And Aquarius can be representing you. It can also be representing technology, advancement, electricity. It could be spontaneity, because Aquarius and Uranus govern sudden change and surprises. It's also humanitarianism and our uniqueness. So you've got that coming up as a blockage or imbalance. It could be that in July you're healing that, or it could be something to become aware of and accept rather than to keep denying and suppressing and ignoring. And then your color card is Auburn, ground yourself. So it looks like maybe you've been a little bit undergrounded, or the energies coming in require you to now take some time to ground yourself in July. So let's look at the week by week now. First week you have Tiger, guardian of branches. Now I think this is the King of Wands in traditional tarot. So this is a very powerful energy. Then you have Meadow, vulnerability. And you have Time and Tide, or oceanic spells and rituals. So I think this is in part about connecting into the vastness of the universe, the vastness of potentiality, the vastness of reality and life and yourself. Time and Tide. It may also be about, patience and divine timing versus your ego's timing. You may want things to happen in your ego's time and things to happen the way you want them to, but the universe is saying, sometimes things go away from you, sometimes they come towards you. There's an ebb and a flow. Nothing's permanent, and it's in divine timing. But there's also like a vastness connected here. And for some of you, yeah, it might be about going to the oceans. Yeah, it might be about doing spells or rituals to help protect the oceans or to connect with the energy of the ocean and the water. You have this very strong fire energy here, and like I mentioned, I will read a little bit out of the booklet for each of these animal cards after I go through each week for greater clarity. So this could be referring to a fire sign, though, either an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in your life, or it could be referring to your own energies, which we'll talk about in a little bit when I get into it. The Meadow card, vulnerability. This actually talks about balance and how there's strength and vulnerability. That doesn't mean that you don't need strength, though. You do, especially with this Guardian of Branches card, Tiger, coming out here. It's telling you to use your power and your strength for good rather than to attack and destroy others and yourself, but to be gentle with your power, to be gentle with that fiery energy. So I say that there's the balance here of strength and weakness, of vulnerability and strength, because, and a certain strength within vulnerability, because as you can see, hopefully, there's the mountains right behind this meadow. So we have the meadow and then we have the mountain here, and the mountain is symbolic of strength. And so there's like a balance and a protective force here of gentleness, of being open, being vulnerable. It may be a matter of needing to ask for your needs to be met. It may be a matter of putting yourself out there, even though you may be getting rejected or turned away from some situation or hurt in some situation. It's being willing to admit that you're vulnerable and accept it and love it and nurture it anyway. It's also about, being gentle. I feel like it's being gentle here, yet strong. There's a certain balance. So let's look at the second week. In the second week, you have Donkey. This is the Five of Fossils or the Five of Pentacles in other decks. You also have New Moon, Promise. And you have Sanctuary, Privacy, Inviolate Personal Space, Respected Boundaries, and Taboos. So I feel like Spirit is kind of asking you, what do you want? Do you know what you want? Have you taken time to yourself to really connect in with your soul and find out what your soul wants? Everybody needs time to themselves. Everybody needs safety and a sanctuary and a place to relax. Everybody needs boundaries. And this is about respecting other people's boundaries, respecting other people's privacy, as well as claiming your own. Okay. So you could be enjoying some of that, or you could be Donkey, you could be working for that, advocating for that, and working towards getting that. We have this New Moon Promise card showing up here, and I feel like there's a couple different meanings here. So some of this may be for some of you, some of it may be for others. Some of you, the entire message may apply. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Here we have new beginnings. You know, there's a new moon, there's new beginnings, new opportunities, new potentials. There's it says promise. There's an element of commitment here, of integrity, of keeping your word, and you know, working towards it rather than being like flighty or unreliable. This is about deciding, you know, what your goals are, what your intentions are for a new cycle, and working towards it, but also balancing work with rest for you know, success in the long haul, so you don't burn out, and taking care of your own needs for privacy, needs for proper boundaries being there, etc., as well as honoring that for others. So we have new beginnings here with the new moon, and it's promise as well. I feel like this is perhaps the universe answering you, like in love, like you get what you put in, to an extent. So things will not remain the way they are forever. This Donkey card can be a little bit challenging. Sometimes we feel used when this card comes up. We feel like we're carrying too many burdens, too many responsibilities on our back. We're being worked too hard, that kind of thing, for what we're receiving. But are you clear about what you want to receive? And is it, you know, ethical and fair to other people? Because you can see in the new moon card, you know, there's a little bit of romance here. There's a couple sitting here holding each other by the sunset, watching the sunset, and the sunset is symbolic of romance and love. So this is, you know, new beginnings, new promises, from the element of love, you know, coming from your heart space. Alright, so the third week you have Lizard, Seven of Branches, and this would be the Seven of Wands in traditional tarot. You have Mountain, Strength. And you have Amoria, or Imrama. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's spelled Imramma, if you want to look that up. And it says Wonder Voyage, Crossing Deep Waters, Pilgrimage, Journey of the Soul. So the third week, I think, is in part about finding your own inner strength, and it could be your strength to get through some challenging situation, your strength to go the distance, your strength to honor your commitment to yourself, to others, your strength to take a risk. So here we have Aries reversed. Get that right side up. And that first house in the sign of Aries connects into or corresponds to the Fool in the tarot deck, the 0 of Major Arcana card, the very first card, which is the Fool, and it's an energy of, you know, foolhardiness, of taking a risk, taking a chance, following your heart. And, you know, then we have Strength, and we have this card talking about perhaps a pilgrimage, journey of the soul. It's having the strength and courage to follow your heart, follow your soul, even when it doesn't necessarily look logical. You can certainly, you know, do your best to be intelligent about it and protect yourself, but at the same time, sometimes we have to take chances, okay? And it's crossing deep waters. Wonder Voyage indicates you may not have all of the information or, you know, all of the feelings of security that you would like to have in the situation. It's like a romance that you don't know if it's going to work out, or it's like, you know, leaving a job for a new job. You don't know. You're leaving, you know, stability and what you're familiar with. You're taking a chance into going into the unknown, but it's something to do. You're following your soul. It's a journey of the soul. And for some of you, I think you're going off on your own. You're going out into nature, or maybe you're going to climb a mountain to connect in with your spirituality, and it's sort of, you know, some sort of like pilgrimage or journey of the soul here. But we have that Strength card, and we'll read a little bit about the 7 of Branches, the Lizard card, in a little bit, and that'll give us a little more information on that week. So for the 4th week, you have Sea Turtle, Nurturer of Shells. And I forget if this is the Queen. I think it's the Queen of Water or Cups here. So this could be referring to a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in your life. It could also be referring to your own energies with the Queen of Water or Nurturer of Shells here, the Sea Turtle. This is about balancing your emotions. This is about having those emotions, honoring them, accepting them, being with them. It's about gentleness, it's about patience, it's about more that we'll get into in a little bit as I read the animal cards. And you have Volcano, Volatility. So this could be referring to some sort of upset or eruption or sudden change, things that were held back, suppressed, repressed, you know, no more breaking out of that. It could, like you said, it could be a conflict, volatility. It could be some sort of energy that you perceive as nastiness, but it's something that has to occur. It's like when you get sick and you throw up and then you feel better. It's because you got all those toxins and poisons in you. So it's like the throwing up is actually good because you get it out of your system. So there we have the volcano. It could also just be fast moving energy, you know, like something taken off really fast, like career wise, or sort of something sort of launching you or someone in your life, some sort of situation, launching it up, launching it forward real quickly. And then your card from the Mermaid deck is Sisterhood. It says friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. So very beautiful watery energies along with this volcano energy. This is an interconnectedness. You know, this is connecting with females in your life perhaps, but not necessarily. And if you're a man, you know, it could be brotherhood as well. It's, you know, there's compatible souls here, friendship, allies, loyalty, joy, and delight. And that pretty much says it all, I think, for now. Let's read the Sea Turtle and then see what else comes in, because I do feel like these are very connected energies. So Alright, we're going to dive in with the first week, which you had the Tiger for, and see what that brings to light. Tiger. Nurturer branches, guardian of branches. It is indeed the King of Wands. And the qualities associated with this card are daring, energizing, creative, masterful. Its underlying message is see clearly, express truly, take charge of yourself. So there is definitely an element here of responsibility for oneself and one's situation. Okay, strength, daring, energizing, creative, masterful. See clearly, express truly, take charge of yourself. The second week, you had that 5 of Fossils card, the donkey. And the themes with this card are difficulty, loss, hardship, strength, determination, and dedication. Its underlying message is persevere and accept support. You can go the distance. So it's not about what's gone, it's about what's left and what it made room for. Okay, in part. I mean, we all have our process. It's not about papering over things. There's definitely a process to go through, but what I'm getting off this card is it may be time to drop the old garbage, drop any preoccupation with difficulties, loss, hardship from the past, past failures, thinking that you have to continue struggling, thinking that life has to continue being, difficult and hard all of the time. I think, the universe is trying to break you out of old patterns that keep you cycling around through lessons of hardship, loss, and difficulty, if you'd like to break free from them, because we have this new moon promise card here. Okay. Something may have happened, and it's asking you to have determination, to dedicate yourself to what's past your ego, what your soul wants, what's fair and just. Persevere, accept support. You can go the distance. Take time for yourself, because there's an element here of recuperation from hardship, loss, difficulty, a building up of strength, dedication, determination, moving forward. It's like an energy of work. Perhaps some of you are picking up more hours at work, or within your personal life you're having to put in more energy, effort, work at something. Maybe you've got something new going on that needs some attention, but remember also, respect other people's boundaries, respect your own boundaries, allow and give yourself time to connect with spirit and have privacy and sanctuary as well, so that you have more endurance and you feel better, and it'll help with your, give you strength. So then we have the Lizard, the 7 of branches, and for some reason this card in particular is sticking out to me. So let's see what's there. Okay. Themes are confidence, composure, subterfuge, and stance. This message, underlying message, is stay true to yourself, bluff when needed. Confidence, composure, subterfuge, stance. Message, stay true to yourself, bluff when needed. So this is about further following your inner guidance, okay, and building up your confidence. Okay, if you're confident that you can do something, you may need to just go with that rather than doubts, fears. You don't necessarily need things to be 100% proven that they will work out before you move forward. That's what I'm getting from this bluff when needed, take a stance type of thing. If you feel it in your heart and your soul, if it's what the direction you really want to move in, but there's fear or apprehension because you don't have all of the answers, because there's an element of chance or risk here. You're being guided to be strong, to keep your composure, to be confident, to take a stance, to go on this pilgrimage or journey of the soul as needed. So I do feel like mountain and strength, you know, they generally vibrate to the energy, or always, I don't know, they vibrate to the energy of, you know, truth and honesty, but at the same time, it's like if someone is using you or abusing you, right, and they want to know things that are none of their business, they want to know, you know, like the exact nature of every detail of how your pilgrimage is going to work out, how the direction you're moving in is going to work out. It's like, no, come on. If you have the confidence, you know, you may have to kind of, I don't know, I'm really tempted to draw a clarifier card here. So the bluff when needed thing, it's like the lizard kind of frailing out its, this here around its head, I forget what that's called, frailing it out to make itself look bigger and, you know, more, like it's better at defense than it is to scare away predators. So that's the type of energy that is suggesting. It's like, if you're afraid, there may be a time when you kind of have to bluff that and show confidence to the world instead as you move forward, so that other people aren't feeding your fears and making matters worse. Okay, it's like the fake it until you make it type of attitude here in some way, shape, or form. I don't feel like it's directly about lying to anybody. For most of you, that's not the case. But it is sort of a fake it until you make it, you know, move with courage sort of energy for some of you an extent. I hope that makes sense. So then we have the nurturer of shells, the sea turtle here. And this is the Queen of Cups. Qualities are intuitive, loving, aesthetic, and deep. The underlying message, feel deep, love true. So there may be some passionate eruptions that occur for some of you, you know, and it's okay to give yourself time to integrate that, to feel things through deeply. In fact, it's much better than just reacting. You have friendships, you have allies, you have, you know, beautiful, beautiful energies here, and like very healing water energies here. So it's about making things better if things get ugly. But I don't feel that things are necessarily going to get ugly just because we have this volcano volatility card. But like I mentioned, it might be like throwing up for some of you, you know, getting the poison out. There's that initial like, bleh, that wasn't fun. But then there's this energy of getting in touch with your deeper emotions and having, you know, the garbage sort of cleansed out and what's left. Being able to appreciate what's there, being able to appreciate true friendships, people who are on your side, compassion, and giving and receiving these things. Okay. Compatible souls, joy, delight. So, we have left the fairy card. Let me open the booklet for that now. The pedestal card. 38, page 38. Okay. key word here is choice. It says, look at this card. I guess I'll show it to you then. Look at this card. This angelic being is bound round and round, yet her bindings are not secured. She can choose to unbind herself at any moment. Situations are not as they seem. If you have chosen this card today, understand that you must look deeper at things going on in your life. Are you seeing all the different sides of a situation? Perhaps you are feeling bound when it is your choice to simply decide to be free. We often bind ourselves with limited belief systems and outdated thinking patterns. What habits can you change in your thinking in order to release yourself from bindings? Many situations are not black or white or good or bad. It's up to you to find the middle ground in your thinking. Find the place where you can sit and see both sides. Ask for clarity and to see all facets before making up your mind. Find your pedestal where you can see your truth and release all that does not fit your chosen reality. Choose wisely what you want in your life. All of the choices we make create a vibration that affects all other life in the universe. If one chooses wisely, it will be what is also best for others. You have much more control of your life and circumstances than you may realize. It says, choose the other one today. And there's a chant that goes, I am a being with the gift of choice. I am open to truth. I choose to bring into my life all the good that exists for me. I choose freedom. My life abounds with positive options. I choose wisely with my best interest in mind. So be it. Okay, Aquarius. So I do think July is a month where there's some healing going on, hopefully for you. Spirit is asking you to heal matters related to your identity and the way you perceive yourself and the way others see you. Okay. And the way that you're contributing to humanity in large, and the way that you're involved with that, because of that humanitarian aspect for some of you. It's about being a better role model, being a better leader by being true to yourself, being independent, living in integrity, taking care of yourself, respecting who you are. I am Aries. And also knowing that you can change and embrace the very best that Spirit has to offer you, right? Like the fairy card mentioned. Also, July is a month where it's really important for you to connect in with earth energy and to do things to ground yourself, whether that's go walk out in nature, you know, take your shoes off, be barefoot, do grounding meditations, visualization, take care of your physical body, especially is coming up here. Okay. And then you're putting yourself in a place where you have more clarity, where you're connected in spiritually to higher forces, and you can make grounded, wiser choices and decisions. And you do have choices and decisions to make. You have choices, whether you realize it or not. And as you ground yourself and do these things, you're going to realize that you have more choices. You're going to see them. They're going to present themselves to you. And it may be about choosing to free yourself from some sort of bondage that feels sort of like somewhat self-inflicted, like mental patterns, behavioral patterns, things like that. You can shift them for the betterment of all involved, including yourself. I hope you enjoyed your reading. That's going to wrap it up. Have a great month. Take care. Be well. Namaste. Bye-bye.